anyways, so sorry, my hair's just Hey guys, welcome to episode 116 of the Cat Lady podcast. My name is Andrea, also known as the Cat Lady. That's 2 T's, C-A-T-T for Craft All the Things. It is Saturday, June 27th, 2020. I am coming to you from Michigan. It is a very hot and humid day. My kids and husband are home, and you can probably hear them, so I apologize. I'm trying to do this during the week, but it didn't happen, so here I am. Thank you for joining me. If you are new, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are if you are new, thank you for checking me out. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. Boy, this is typical. This is a typical me. So I'm usually all over the place. So whatever. So first things first. Black lives still matter. Okay. So we all experienced the crazy uprising a couple weeks ago, month ago. It's been like a month probably by now, a couple months or whatever. I'm losing track of the days and the time. Everyone was on board. The black squares were everywhere. The hashtags were everywhere. And now things are going back to normal, and I don't want them to go back to that normal. Okay, so I am still trying my best to have conversations with my family, have do the research online. I'm listening to some audiobooks. I'm trying to find more diverse accounts to follow. So that's what I'm doing. So anytime I find something that's interesting or a fact that I feel is important to share, I'll share it on Instagram and Facebook. So that's what I'm trying to do. So in that same vein, I would like to recommend a couple podcasts. Kim the Crafty Nomad, I've been following her for a long time. She does a lot of crochet, but she knits as well, and she calls herself the Crafty Nomad because she's all over the place and doesn't know what she's going to do next. So similar to the Craft All the Things logic. So she's got a podcast that you can follow on YouTube, and then I stumbled across a friend sent me over here the Quirky Monday Craft Cast with Kalisha. And Kim the Crafty Nomad can be found as Kim the Crafty Nomad on Instagram. And the Quirky Monday Craft Cast with Kalisha she's Nadira Tani, so N-A-D-I-R-A-T-A-N-I. I will put that on the screen on Instagram. So she's hilarious, so she's fun to follow. And then some other Instagram accounts that I've been trying to follow that are all in the creative, crafty sphere. Most of them, not all of them. One of them isn't, but Gigi Made It, of course. I know a lot of you already follow Gigi and know Gigi, but she's been so prolific in this fight, and she's very powerful and passionate and a real joy to listen to. And so her name is Gay Glaspie, and so you can follow her as Gigi Made It. Also, another really powerful and prominent speaker is Lola Bean Yarn Co. So Adela, she is Lola Bean Yarn Co. on Instagram, and she is no hold back, bold and real, and I love her. She's great. Marissa Maid, she's new to me. Lola Bean I'd heard of but never really followed, so I started following her, and yeah, she's great. Gigi I've followed for a while, but I am ashamed to admit that some of these people I followed, but I never really engaged with. So I'm doing my best to try to actually engage with the people I follow, making note of, the importance of engaging with the people you follow. So I'm trying. I mean, I don't want to spend so much time on social media, but at the same time I'm also trying to promote a business, so I'm on there anyway, so I should engage with the people I follow and the people that follow me, which I've always tried to respond anytime I get a comment from somebody. So Marissa Maid, she's very sweet, and she has these affirmations like what was it called, maker affirmations or something along those lines. So she's always very positive, and then she also has some very critical and important things that refer to like the movement, the Black Lives Matter movement and everything. So she's been good to follow. Some other accounts, Detroit Knots. Her name's Natalie. She is a crochet designer, so she's been fun, and she's local to me, so I'm not sure exactly where she lives, but she's obviously in the Detroit area, so I like to find people that are local to me. So, and then the last one that's not related to anything crafty is Blacktress Comedy, and her name is Naomi, and she is hilarious. She's a riot. She does this whole series on like the Corona quarantine, and I was just dying last night listening to one part. I gotta go back and listen to the other one too, but she was doing like a daily story vlog, and it's really funny. So some charities, I don't think I mentioned it on the podcast. I know I sent it in my newsletter and I mentioned it online, but we ended up donating to Focus Hope, which is a charity in Detroit that helps. They do like preschool, like early education. They do young youth programs. They do like job training for adults. They do food for the seniors. So a very whole wide gamut of help in the Detroit area. So I was pretty confident to donate my money and the kids' money to that cause. And actually, after I posted that, I just posted for accountability. I'm not looking for everyone to say bravo, good job. I told everyone I was going to donate somewhere local, and I found a place and wanted to share it. So, but I did share it, and then a friend of mine from high school, she chimed in and said, oh, my husband used to use Focus Hope when he was growing up for help with food and stuff. So I'm glad that it's obviously been around for a while and is doing good things. So you can go to that. It's www.focushope.edu. Another charity that is going on, which it's done but not done. So String Things Studio is a black-owned, woman-owned fiber business in Brooklyn. It's a yarn store in Brooklyn that is obviously having trouble staying afloat with the whole corona going on, and so Gigi and Adela, but I think Gigi kind of really threw it together, but Adela helped too. But they created GoFundMe. They had a goal of like $17,000. They reached the goal in like 2 hours, and I think it ended up at like might have ended up at like 27,000, but then they cut it off. So it's not, you can't go to the GoFundMe anymore, but if you go to String Things Studios website, they have like a monthly club you can sign up for. So if you go over there and you want to help out, and you can contribute monthly to a kind of a club thing. I haven't really looked into it much because I can't do monthly clubs really, but it sounds like it's a kind of a cool thing, and you could support a good business and keep them afloat. So they're hoping to reopen, and they have to put in a bunch of new safety measures and everything because of the virus. So I'm happy that they made their goal and that they'll be able to continue running, because black-owned, woman-owned, two things that are already like pushing her down. So, you know, I'm glad we can lift her up. So, okay, sorry, it's a ranty episode today, sort of. That wasn't a rant, but Ravelry. If you haven't heard or seen, Ravelry has changed their layout. Or they haven't really changed their layout, they just changed the appearance. So they have put new graphics and a new like color scheme. The Ravelry is still the same. Sure, they made a few updates here and there, but overall, if you look at Ravelry, it looks the same, which is already a real clunky, outdated looking platform, if you ask me. It's very 90s. I don't know. It's just, or early 2000s. I don't know. It's just very. It's always, ever since it started, it's always seemed kind of clunky. But it's been fine. It worked fine. If it's not broke, don't fix it, I guess. I don't know. So they revamped their look, and people are having migraines and seizures. Like, there's people having seizures because there's just so much white, and it's very bright and white and like open, like just kind of like a lot for your eyes to handle. So they did that. People started complaining, saying they're having migraines, saying they're having seizures. Now, they ignored it. Like, it's been like a week or so, and it's just like it's radio silence, and that's not right. So they finally came back yesterday, I think. Yesterday, it was like yesterday night or something, and posted an apology. It was very lukewarm. I mean, kind of like, we're gonna work on it, but no real like plan of action. Now, if that was my website, you know, and I don't know, I feel like the popularity of things just go to people's heads or something, or like the corporate, and I really hope I don't ever turn into something like that, because I've dealt with that with some indie dyers too that are very popular, and it's like the service to the customer, it seems to go down with some, not with them, certainly not with all. And I get they're busy, they can't like do everything for everyone, but when something serious comes up like this, just revert back to your classic mode for now. You know, just go back and then revisit. You're affecting people's health. I mean, this is people's health. This isn't like just people don't like it. It's not like, oh, we just don't like it, which it's fine. It's okay. It doesn't bother me in a health aspect. I could go either way. But if you're affecting people's health, you need to stop what you're doing, go back to your other that's everyone's accustomed to and okay with, and fix it. Not just like, oh, but so many other people like it. And so then I look at the survey. So you can take a survey, and I started filling out the survey just to see what it said. They want to link the survey to your personal account. I don't get the point of that. Are they thinking that people are going to come in and just pretend they have a disability and like just say they do just to like trick you? I mean, that's weird. I don't want to be linked to a survey. It's supposed to be like an anonymous survey, right? It's a survey. You don't link it to people's personal accounts. What are you going to do? Are you going to like follow up with them and verify that they have an issue? Like, that's weird. It's weird. The whole thing is just weird. So I am attempting to make my own little website with a forum in it so that I can do my knit-alongs and stuff and direct people to this other forum. We'll have like a password, so like it's not going to just be like super public. It's kind of like, you know, I have two options with it. I can either just have a generic password that everyone will type in, which I guess eventually the password could become known, or you could sign in and be a member. But I don't know if people want to continue to be like sign up for things. So right now it's just set as a password, but right now it's not anything because I haven't published anything. But it's just a free Wix account. I thought, okay, I'll have a blog on there maybe. I'm terrible at blogging, and then a forum. But I thought the blog could be used just to store my projects, so what projects I'm working on in project notes, and then a forum for make-alongs and chatter, whatever. So that's my thought process. I need a backup plan. I mean, not that I get that much traction on my Ravelry group, it's not very active, but I'd like to have something available, you know. So that's my plan. So that's that. In podcast news, we have 2 make-alongs going on. 2, 3. 3 make-alongs going on. Yes, I keep forgetting. 3 make-alongs going on. First one is the WIP-along. And anything that has been a WIP on your needles or hook or sewing machine or craft table, any WIP, work in progress, prior to January 1st, 2020. So any work in progress prior to 2020 counts. 1 post per finished item. You can frog an item and put it in there. It's just a finished object thread. I don't have a chatter thread for that. Knitting, crochet, spinning, weaving, sewing, paper crafts, whatever. Must be a member of the Ravelry group to win. Actually, honestly, I don't care if you're a member at this point. I just don't even know how to handle Ravelry anymore. And it'll run until the end of summer, so August 31st. Prize is 12 mini skeins from Happy Little Yarn, a handmade bag, and some stitch markers from Neatsy's Porch. The project I'm going to feature today, I did not randomly generate because I just had to pick this project. It's the last entry right now. It is a cushion cover, so a sewn cushion cover. She said she started the cover, although she started it in the 20th century. So that is what I call an epic work in progress that is finally finished, and it must be a relief. So I will put a picture of that in there from, I'll just put a picture because I can't, Anne in Edinburgh. Okay. Anne in Edinburgh. Edinburgh? Yeah. Words. So anyways, the next one is the stress-free make-along, which is a joint make-along with Happy Little Yarns and the Needles at the Ready podcast. that is a just a fun, stress-free make-along. It can be knit, crochet, paper craft, sewing, spinning, whatever, same thing. Started April 15th, and it's going to go until April 31st, or August 31st, so the kind of same time frame as the WIP along. WIPs are allowed, must be a member of Ravelry or whatever. You can double, triple, whatever dip. So if you have a WIP prior to 2020, please go ahead and put it in both posts that I have. So that works for me. The projects that I am, and I apologize, I was highlighting everyone's finished projects on Instagram, but I stopped because I started promoting the Black Lives Matter movement, and I didn't want to just toss in random stress-free mails in the middle of that, so I do apologize. I just kind of stopped that for now. So I wasn't planning on drawing a prize from there, I don't think, anyways, so sorry, my hair's just but there's that. So the projects I'm highlighting from that is post number 82, which is 16 paws, and she has a pair of socks, and I will put a picture of it. And then post 73, which is BORKP, also do a pair of socks. So those are the featured finished objects today. And my newest knit along is Summer Socks knit along. So there is a chatter and a finished object thread. Shorty socks, summery yarn socks, any socks that remind you of summer. I have one that's, she was attempting to be like beachy sand and waves, and it kind of looks like Christmas. That's fine. She tried. WIPs allowed, make as many as you want. One finished object, one pair per post. Starting June 20th, which is already passed, through September 21st, so summer. And prize to be determined. If you are a maker that would like to donate prizes, please get in contact with me. I would love to showcase your product, and I will actually like show it on a regular basis, which I should be doing. So I will backtrack, because I'm being a bad podcaster. So, so for the whip along minis from Happy Little Yarn. Stitch markers from Neat East Porch. Oh, don't look at my face. There we go. There's her logo. I'll show you the markers. Can you see them? I don't know. Stop going for my face. I think you can see them. Okay. So they're like pink, blue, very pretty little glass beads. And then a bag by me. So either the pink kitties or the teal kitties. The other bag will be used for the other another giveaway. And then I will probably do a skein of hand-dyed yarn at some in the other giveaways. But again, maybe make some bags. I'd love to make some. I really am dying the itching, scratching, whatever to make new bags, but I just need to find the time. So, alright, so on to the knitting finally, 20 minutes in, and we can finally move on to the actual content. It is a finished object kind of couple weeks, and I am super excited to say that my lava lamp socks are complete. So these were started on December 31st, 2019. So, and these are a Gale's Art sock blank, and I tried to match them up, and I'd say I did a pretty good job. I'm a little OCD with my socks, so they line up pretty well color-wise. So this was a sock blank, Gale's Art sock blank, and I knit these on size 0 double-pointed needles. I did Fish Lips Kiss Heel, and just a vanilla sock with some ribbing at the top. That's it. Toe up. And this is the lava lamp colorway. You guys, look at this. Finished my sweater. I haven't taken any pictures of me in it yet, besides a crappy bathroom selfie, so which I will not show. But it fits. I washed and dried it. I always wash and dry my acrylic sweaters the first time. And then going forward, I'll hang it to dry. But I don't know, I feel like the drying really like softens it up. And it loosened it up too. So now the sleeve is a little more roomier than I was kind of hoping for that. So it's nice, and it's not roomy by any stretch, but it's just a little less snug, which is exactly what I wanted. So this is the Keen sweater by Alicia Plummer, knit up with size 10.5 needles and size 11s, which is 6.5 millimeters and 8 millimeters, I think. Chiaogus, in Knit Picks Brava, bulky in the wine color. So I'm very excited to be done with this. Of course I can't wear it because it is 90 degrees outside, but it will be ready for fall. And it's a nice fall color. Okay, and that's it. That's it for finished objects. But I have no more. I have no more WIPs. Free 2020, except my scrappy yarn blanket, but that doesn't count. I have one more WIP. I have a spinning WIP on my wheel that I started a few months ago. That's it. I have no more knitting WIPs, no more crochet WIPs. I have one spinning WIP that wasn't that long ago, and I did my blanket, which I know I was attempting to finish it this year, but that's not obviously going to happen. So, so this is my only current WIP. So I do have WIPs, but these will get done. These are for the summer sock knit along, and these are my Rose City rollers. So I'm trying to think if I had these cast on last time. No, I didn't. They were needle adjacent. So these are my Rose City rollers, and it is in the Fiber Stash Dye Works Dirty Crayon Box. So this is the leftovers from my Ripple Bralette by Jessie Made Designs. And then I did a contrasting heel with my own hand-dyed yarn in the Berry Sorbet color. How perfect does that go together? Does that not just go together so perfect? Because of course there's like a million colors in there, but there's totally, that berry color is totally in there. So that looks good. I love the way that turned out. And I'm going to do a contrast toe in the After Midnight colorway, which is a dark navy. Both of these are the yarns I use for my doodler. And these are knit on size 0 double point needles, which is, no, these are US 1s. US 1s, 2.25 millimeters. I'm just following the pattern. Rose City Rollers by Mara Catherine Brenner. So yeah, so I got one sock done, and then the second sock, do I give away the surprise? Sure. I'm going to do the contrast heel in the navy, and then the toe in the pink, so they will kind of be like mixy matchy socks. So those will be fun. And I'm excited for those. I need to make a bunch of these. That's all I need to do this summer for socks. Socks just need to be Rose City Rollers because they're perfect little summer socks. Because I don't want to put these on right now. These are huge. I mean, because I like these in the winter. I like the nice tall socks, but not now. And that is in my Star Wars Quilting Sisters bag. And that is all my WIPs. I don't have a lot going on. So I still wanted to cast on the training wheels. It was this big squishy brioche 2-color shawl or cowl, so I might do that. I submitted a application to test knit a shawl for someone. So I'll wait to hear on that, because that would be fun to test knit a shawl and maybe use my own hand-dyed yarn for that. Speaking of my hand-dyed yarn, this is the Kindness Shawl by Jala Sphero, Knit Circus Yarns pattern. And I really love it. In the 17 micron merino. This is like a gradient-ish experiment I did. So I'm not selling those ones, the stripy kind of ones yet, because I don't have a way to produce them in any sort of efficient way. Haven't done anything on my knitting machine, but I will soon because I got something. Haven't touched my spinning, which I need to do. So I have my fiber optic yarn still on there. And that's it. Oh, stash. So then stash. Oh, what did I do with it? Okay, in stash, We were at the grocery store today just to pick up some odds and ends, and on a whim I went down the craft aisle, which is a very small aisle with a very small little yarn section, but I picked up 2 of these Lion Brand mandalas. So if you recall, when I got my knitting machine, I made these really cool, I made a really cool cowl. What did I do with my knitting machine projects? That's a good question. I don't know. I had a whole pile of hats and a cowl. I don't know what happened to them. Might be in the other room. But anyways, I made this really cool cowl with the mandala I had. And I didn't make it through the whole thing. I made it through, I think I had like 2 or 3 colors left. So looking at this one, I think I'll start in the center. The focus keeps following my face and it's like I wanted to look at other things. So I'll start at the center and work my way out, and so I'll probably only make it to, I'm hoping I make it to the green though. Boy, maybe I like the purple. The purple's gotta be in there, so I gotta start here and go this way. This one, I have to have the green in there, so I'll have to start in the center and go this way. Well. Maybe if I start at the outside, I can go to the green, but then the green's in the back. Well, the green's, no. Yeah, I gotta start, okay. So look at me working this out. I gotta start at the front so that the green's kind of towards the, on one of the sides, because if this is gonna be at the seam, and then wherever I stop will be the other seam. Same with this, so I mean, you got some burgundy, like some rose colored in the middle, so hopefully by the time I get the purple, at least it'll be somewhat visible. But I like this green over here too, and this mustard. I could try to make the whole thing, but so the last one I made, it was 60 inches around. And that was plenty long enough. Like, I felt like that was a good size. So if I made it too long, then it's going to be too drapey. So I'll probably start here though, because I need to get the purple. And if I go from this way in, I won't get to the purple. So I'm going to make 2 cowls with that, with my knitting machine. Oh, let's tell you what the colorway names are. So Lion Brand Mandala in Warlock and Genie. Warlock and Genie, huh. And this was like, I was on my way to meet my husband in line, the cart. I'm like, well, I'll just grab this, throw them in there. So, that's it for stash. Life in review. All right, so no more school, but we're still very busy. I don't know, kids are bored a lot, which I don't know how to deal with the boredom. Like, go play. You got so many toys. You got so many things to do. Just go do something. And you're not going to play games and watch TV all day, like video games. They get a small amount of video games and television every day, and that's fine. They don't need any more. They don't need to spend all summer playing video games. So, business is very overwhelming and time-consuming, which is expected, of course. I have expectations, of course, but it's just like, there's just so many things right now. It's like, I have to actually, I hear people coming up the stairs. Anyways, I have to actually dye the yarn. I have to then, twist it and label it and tag it, and I mean, it's gotta dry. It's like all the things, and then I have to upload take the pictures, and then I have to upload it to the website, and then I have to do this, and I have to do that, and then I'm trying to market, and I'm trying to post on Instagram more, I'm trying to do all this stuff. But I guess that's the business side. Kids have been to the orthodontist like 1,000 times. David got his expander in his top, not yet on the bottom, because I think they screwed up. So originally, before COVID, he went in and he got scanned for both. And then he was supposed to go in and get them, and we couldn't. So fast forward to now, he went back in and he went back in and they put in the spacers for the top. And I should have asked that at that point, why he didn't get them for the bottom, but I don't know. I assumed maybe it was just something different. So they put in these little rubber bands to space the teeth a little bit to then put in the appliance. So then we went back the week later, they put in the top, and then he came out, I'm like, why did they not put in the bottom? So I talked to them, and they're like, oh, okay, well, he needs an appointment to be re-scanned for the bottom, because his whole bottom is different, because he lost a tooth that he shouldn't have, and his other tooth is grown in its place, and there's a whole slew of issues now that all happened during quarantine. So he needs to go back in and get, yeah, he went in for scans. So then in a month he goes back in for spacers and the bottom. Now Emily, she was getting a little sore on the top of her mouth, so they're like, okay, we're going to take out the expander because it's done expanding. They had kind of locked it in place, and give her just a retainer. Well, they can't get her in for like another month, so basically she's got nothing right now, which is kind of great. So both of them will go in at the end of July and get spacers, and a week later they'll both get their appliances. We are collecting a bunch of camping stuff. We have tent, we have sleeping pads, we have camping stove, and all these other miscellaneous stuff. But we haven't gone yet. Hopefully in the next couple weeks we're gonna plan a trip, so let's see how that goes. And that's it for Life in Review. Besides my kids being annoying, that's it. Alright, so business news. So if you are interested in business news, please stick around. If not, I will see you next time. Shop day. I'm thinking monthly shop updates for now. I don't know how it's going to work exactly because opening weekend went well. Momentum has gone down since, which is expected. I need to like really just figure out how to market, and it's like I feel like I am on a just giant uphill battle. So first off was COVID. I was like gonna launch and I was getting kind of geared up, and no, couldn't do it. And then you know, people are losing their jobs and people don't have all the extra money to spend on yarn, so yeah, like that's a struggle. So I'm opening a business when people can't spend money. Great. Secondly, we are promoting black makers and dyers, and that's great, and I will continue to promote black makers and dyers. I did score my first Lowell bean purchase, which won't come till August, so, but I will show it when I get it. But you know, we're supporting the people that need the support. So that's not me, which is fine, but it's like just another obstacle, I guess, to try to support and promote others while, you know, trying to promote myself as well. And now Ravelry is falling apart, and I'm supposed to come up with a pattern, and I accidentally published my pattern. I didn't put the links on it yet because I didn't mean to publish it. I kind of thought I was gonna, like, it said to publish to Ravelry, but I thought it was gonna give me like a prompt to like download and whatever, not just like throw it on Ravelry. There's probably a way I can take it off. I don't know. I didn't really. After all this time I spent on getting it there, it's there. There's a note in it that says coming soon, but now it may not be going there at all. I don't know. So yeah, so now I don't have a platform to put my pattern on. So I saw a shout out from Knit Circus Yarns, which is so funny because I downloaded this pattern and I had no idea who they were. And now all of a sudden, you know, I found out who they were, and like I'm following them and this happens. So I mean, things happen for a reason, but they're offering new and small designers a spot to host their patterns. And then they will collect the money and PayPal it to you. Because I can put it on my website, and I will put it on my website. But if someone purchases it from our website, I have to physically then send them an email with it. Which again, I'm not expecting like thousands of people to download my pattern, so it's fine. But it's just another extra step that's not productive. Like, I'm using a free platform, so you know, you get what you pay for, right? But I can't afford a monthly fee for like a Shopify right now. Like, I'm not established enough. So once I'm established enough, then I'm gonna have to spend a bunch of time redesigning an entire website, but that'll be a good thing. That'll be a good thing. If I'm making enough money that I need to go to a paid platform and redesign my website, that is a good thing. All I have to do is copy and paste a bunch of stuff, right? So, anyway, so if I put and I'm not getting traffic on my website, let's be honest, the traffic isn't there. The views and stuff are not there. I need to promote myself more, and I don't know exactly how. I don't want to come off as annoying on my feeds because I like my followers and I like my group of people in my community, so I don't want to like overdo it, but then I can't underdo it because I need to promote. It's a business. But Ravelry, you get that foot traffic of just, you know, people searching for shawls or people searching for mitts, and it comes up and it's there, and you get the random, you know, people. Like, you're not going to get that on my website, especially since it's a yarn website that's just going to happen to have a couple patterns on it. I have my Twinsies pattern on there, you know, it's just there. Why not? I have the site, I have the means to put it up, it's there. So, but if someone purchases it, I have to go into my files and email them a copy of it. So it's not productive. So if I can go to the Knit Circus platform temporarily, at least for a little bit, plus they're a bigger company name, they might actually get some traffic. So people are going to go and look at their patterns and say, oh, okay, that looks cool, and maybe I'll get a few sales. So shop update once a month. The next shop update will be when my pattern is launched, possibly. Well, here's the thing. So here is the thing. So my plan was, and this I might have to sort of scrap it, but not really scrap it. If you buy a skein of DK yarn, so I have a new base, I have a new DK base, and I dyed a few skeins of that. If you purchase a skein of the DK, I was going to send you the pattern for a totally rad knits free, because it's a DK pattern. It's a DK and worsted pattern, but it's a DK pattern. So I thought, okay, as an incentive, and maybe I just do it for the first weekend, or that weekend of the shop update, or a week or something. So if you buy a skein of DK, you get the pattern for free. I don't know, and then post it to Knit Circus. I'm not sure. So I still have to email them and figure out how that all is going to work, and then maybe I might. What is today? Today's the 27th. So maybe I'll just do my shop update next weekend. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll just update the shop with what I have now and go from there. Things are just complicated. And I feel like every time I feel like I'm getting ahead of the game, well, I'll never feel like I'm ahead of the game, but something just happens and it just like sets me back. So here I am with a bin full of yarn that needs to be sold in order to buy more yarn to dye it and sell it, and I got a pattern to launch, and I'm just like, my head is just gonna explode. So okay, so that's it. Let me show you what I've dyed, and then we'll stop complaining. So, how's that? Let's do some fun stuff. Let's look at some fun yarn. So, I have introduced the DK base, which is the positively squishy DK. So, paw as in cat paw, positively squishy DK. And I'm working on recreating existing colorways by request, and just because, you know, I need to work on that. If I'm gonna be able to offer like dyed to order someday, or just make things people like, then I need to know how to recreate colors. So I did 4 skeins of the Pink Party's Hard. This was a favorite of a lot, and sold out in the previous base. So very bright pink, with the fun speckles of blue, yellow, and what is the other speckle in there? I don't know. Just speckles in there. It's written down. But so I got 4 of those ready to go. So this is DK, and the base information is 100% superwash merino, 231 yards, 211 meters, 100 grams, 4 ply, DK weight. I need more bins because all my yarn is all just kind of jumbled in here, and luckily it's all labeled, so I know what it is now. But okay, and then I have 2 skeins of 80s hair scrunchie on the DK base. I really like how this came out on the thicker base too. My kids, you can hear them. I know you can hear them. So 80s hair scrunchie. This I'm loving this too, and this is Summer Fun. So this pretty orange, purple, pink combo. And then I reskeined it, and I love it even more. So here's the reskeined version of Summer Fun. Hopefully that's focusing. Focus. I think it focuses better when I do that. So there's Summer Fun. Yeah, I really like that. On the DK base. And the last 2 DKs I have are Sunflowers. So I really like this one too. So this is a nice bright summery yellow with some speckles of green and brown. So this is Sunflowers. So I got 2 skeins of that. Oh, here's the 2 skeins of Summer Fun next to each other, so you can see the difference. I am going to do a little video on, and I don't have like a way of really like explaining it, but I was going to go until I have a video, and I thought about doing it earlier this week, but about the different, like just how you can maybe, just talking about the different put-ups of the yarn. So these look like they could be two totally different yarns. So yeah, so I'm going to just talk about yarns and how they're wound and stuff and go from there. I know it's very vague, but I don't want to give it all away because I'm going to do a video. Okay, so that is all the DK base. So next is, we'll save those ones for last. Next we'll do the BFL. Is this BFL? Yes. So this is on the Formidable Sock, which is the 80/20 BFL, Superwash BFL nylon. 420 yards, 384 meters, 115 grams, 3-ply fingering weight. So Formidable Sock, Summer Fun. So there's the, and it is funny to see the difference on, like, I mean, they're pretty similar. The put up of the actual skeins that I get is different though. They're longer. These ones are longer, these ones are a little squatter. So it will knit differently too, because the chunks of color are different lengths. So there's just so many different variances in when you dye yarn, and you know how it's gonna knit. And I got 2 of those, 2 of Summer Funs in the BFL base. The orange is intense, but that looks like super intense on the screen. It's really not that crazy intense. Alright, this was another recreation, Too Much Birthday on BFL. Formidable Sock, Too Much Birthday. So this is like a speckly explosion of like teal, yellow, pink, and black. Kind of reminded me of like frosting, and like you took like a skein of yarn and like cleaned up all the frosting and cake bits. So 2 skeins of that on BFL. And then, what's this, BFL too? Okay, and then these 2. 2 skeins of Sunflower on Formidable Sock. So yeah, I really like how these turn out. These are nice and fun. So I kind of went on a summery kick, and it wasn't like intentional, I felt like the bright, fun colors. And so then we got, okay, we'll do the, since they were on top here. We have our 17 micron, so the Plusumly Soft Merino, 100% 17 micron Merino. Oh, you know, I never put superwash on that. It does say wash cold by lukewarm by hand. I'll have to fix that. I'm gonna have to fix these tags. I'll probably just have to put a little SW by them. Anyways. Noticing my errors. So it is a superwash. Superwash 17 micron merino. It is listed as superwash on the website. 420 yards, 384 meters, 115 grams, 2-ply fingering weight. Super soft, and that's what this is made out of. So this is Sage. This is a 9 Lives colorway. So 9 Lives colors are not repeatable yet. Now, will I work on repeating some of them? Sure. Especially if they sell well, I will do my best to try to repeat them. But this is literally like using a jar. So I put a jar of water next to my station, and then when I like measure dyes and do things, I'll rinse the utensils in this jar. So then it ends up with this concoction of dye that is all just mixed from whatever I've been doing, and that's what I got out of that. So it's real pretty sage. And then we got Cherry Popsicle. Definitely coming up brighter than it is, but picture a cherry popsicle and it's pretty much spot on. So this is blowing it out a bit, but it's a pretty red. And hopefully the pictures on the website will reflect appropriately. And then the last 2, so I was trying to recreate a dusty grayish purple. This obviously came out a little bit more purple than grayish. So this is called Deep Lilac. This one is repeatable, I think, as long as, you know, I follow the recipe, it should be. But we all know hand-dyed yarns are very unique and very special, and even in the similar formulas, conditions, they could come out completely different. So this is why I'm having issues with recreating. Like, it's nerve-wracking. Like, I want to be able to recreate, but they're not going to be exact. The dye's not going to hit the same spot, even in the same batch. I mean, it just, there's so many there's so many variables. So Deep Lilac, possibly Soft Merino. And then lastly is the Perfect Sock base, which is a 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 420 yards, 384 meters, 115 grams, 3-ply fingering weight. And I recreated Pumpkin Coffee, and I think I did okay. So this one was a challenge, so I did exactly what I did last time, and there wasn't enough orange in it. So after it dried, the next day I looked at it, I said, it's not good. Not good enough. It doesn't match what I want it to be. So I re-dyed it. I guess you call it glazed it. So I put it back in the pan with a little bit of, just a hint of the orange color, and it worked. So now it's that nice orangey brown blend that the original was. And it's really nice because I sprinkled the dye in and like cut it in kind of, so it's like I had, water level was a little higher, and then you just sprinkle the powder in, and then you kind of cut it in with a spoon or whatever. So you get these spots where it hits, and I don't know if you can see that, where it hits the dye powder hits the skein and leaves like little speckles. So it's got a nice little like touch of speckles in there. And some of them are orange and some of them are brown. So yeah, I really like this color. So that is the Perfect Sock 80/20 Merino. And then I did the Too Much Birthday on the 80/20 Merino as well. And I do like that. So BFL is more sheepy, I guess, is the best description I can get. So it's more creamy. It's got a definite cream base. So the merino is more white. So if you look at the two of these, if you look at the two of these together, you can tell the top is more yellowy. So it's interesting to see the two of them together. And now the sun is changing and changing my colors. So the top is the Formidable Sock BFL, the bottom is the Perfect Sock Merino. So it's fun to see the difference, but I love these. These are fun. I mean, look at them. Look at those speckles. Those are fun. So I got two of those. And last but not least, a new colorway is Campfire. And so we have the original Campfire. So again, this is on the Perfect Sock. Ouch, I'm getting poked by a tag. This is, so what we have is we have an orange, so it starts with red. It goes into orange, which then goes into yellow, and the yellow is speckled with the black and brown speckles that kind of goes up into the orange. So the speckling stops like partially up the orange, so it's really only the yellow that has the speckles in it. I'm calling this Campfire. And, so this was Fire Embers Campfire, so they're definitely different, because originally I was thinking, well, boy, I already did a red and orange, but they're very different. Did I use the same red or a different red? Just more saturated red, I don't know. Anyways, it's in my notes. But I reskein that one too, because it's always fun to receive some reskeined. I cannot reskein on a regular basis because it's a lot. I don't have the proper equipment, so it's a lot of work. But I had to reskein this one because I was really interested to see how it would look. It looks great. I love it. And I will pop in a picture of the cake. So how I reskein is I have to cake it first and then re-put it back on the Swift. So it's not efficient. But when I caked it, it just made this really cool like pooling, like in the cake, which was really exciting. So if you are into pooling and if you do planned pooling, this could be a fun one to do that. And of course I'm not thinking of that as much when I dye. I'm just dyeing to make it look fun, and you know, it's just fun, you know? It's like you just do what feels right, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, so that's Campfire. And when I reskein it, of course, I have to change the size of it a little bit to distribute the colors, because if I try to reskein it the same size, it will come out similar. Like, I'll notice the chunks of colors will kind of stay the same. So you reskein it a little bit bigger, and then it distributes the colors around. And this is how it will knit up. It's not going to knit up with these giant chunks of color. So this is what I was going to talk about too with my little separate video. So, so yeah. So that's it. So I have, oh no, that's not it. Scratch that, I got one more thing. So my last experiment. So of course, being a new dyer, I am doing lots of experiments. And I really need bins because everything is just like thrown in one bin, and you know, I kind of know, you know, I can tell the difference between BFL and merino, sort of, but it's not always the simplest to tell them apart, so then I get confused and nervous that I'm gonna mess them up, but they're all labeled, so they're fine. Okay, so last but not least, oh, I gotta get this all over my lap. Covered in yarn. I bought some sock blanks because I love gradients, so I love gradients, and I want to figure out how I could possibly do gradients efficiently. Sock blanks, still not super efficient, but more efficient than what this was, which was like breaking apart one skein into a ton of little minis and then putting them in all in their jars and stuff. Sock blanks were a little better, but it's a learning curve. So this is the Summer Fun gradient. So let's look at a skein of Summer Fun. Okay, this is the DK. And this is in the Toe Beans sock base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards, 423 meters, 100 grams, 4-ply fingering weight. So 75-25. So the colors are just as vibrant. This one gets this mottled heathered effect because of the tightness of the sock blank, which I think looks really cool. So it is a gradient, but you got this kind of heathered, it's like a heathered gradient. It's not going to be like super saturated, but I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. So I have one available, possibly two. Pull up a chair, I got a story for you. So to do this, you dye your gradient on your sock blank and then you roll it up and you steam it. Well, I don't have necessarily the proper equipment to steam, so I like made this little makeshift table out of tinfoil and threw 2 of them on there. So I have 2 of them. However, we had a little mishap with one and it fell off and it singed part of the yarn. So this one had to be, had to have a little surgery, and so it's got a knot in it. Not even a gram is missing from it, so it's a complete skein, but it has a knot in it that I had to repair it. So this is considered an Adopt Me Summer Fun gradient, possibly. I might just keep this one, so I haven't decided. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it and knit something with it, or if I will put it up for adoption for a discount, because it did have a slight mishap. So and that is why I have the Adopt Me series, for mishaps and just colors that aren't quite what they're supposed to be. So yeah, so if anyone is interested in a discounted gradient, boy, I had my prices written down, but they're somewhere else, so just message me and I will tell you how much the discounted gradient. So the gradients are more because they are way more time intensive. So, you know, something like this, the DK, I can do 4 at once. I did 4 at one time. This is 3, but I have 4. I did 4 at one time. So efficient. Same amount of time it took to do 2 of these. I mean, and if I had a bigger table space, perhaps I could do more than 2, but it wouldn't be more than like 3 or 4 tops. I don't know. It's just the time it takes way longer to do that. And then I unraveled it. Oh yeah, that doesn't even go into the, we're not even going into the past the dye part. So I dyed the sock blank, which I could sell it as a blank, but some people don't like sock blanks, and I just like the way it looks in a skein. So I wanted to see what it looked like in the skein. And to be honest, I didn't know it was going to be heathered looking until I pulled it out of the skein, or out of the blank. So it looks different in the blank. I'll put a picture of the blank if I think about it. So I dyed it, steamed it, dried it. The next day I unraveled the whole thing, washed it again because it's all kinky and crazy, because that's what sock blanks do. and then I had to dry it again, and then I don't think I dried it properly because it still was a little kinky. I think you're supposed to kind of weight it down. I don't know, I'm learning things, right? So then I steamed it. So this thing is like, this took like 2. So, but I might keep this because I really like this colorway, and I would love this, and I love gradients. I just love gradients. So this would make a really fun shawl. I thought maybe make the twinsy shawl with it because I already have a gradient twinsy shawl though. I did think I should take one of my skeins and make a twinsy shawl because what better way to promote my stuff by knitting my own pattern with my own yarn, right? So, long story short, Summer Fun Gradient, adopt me, possibly available. Alright guys, I have chatted your ear off long enough, and I appreciate all the support. If you'd like to see the yarn that is available, go over to www.thecattlady.com and see what is available. The new stuff will be available soon. Sign up for my newsletter. I will have a link down below for the newsletter. I will definitely put out an email prior to the shop update. It might be, so we're supposed to be planning this camping trip stuff, so, and then next weekend's the 4th of July, so I'd like Saturday, I thought Saturdays at noon was a good convenient time, but that's not convenient for me. So it's gonna have to be maybe a weeknight. So drop a line, tell me what times are good for you for shop updates. So yeah, I'll go from there. But thank you so much. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you again in a couple weeks. With that, I hope you get to craft all the things. Bye.